Hello, everybody out there. It's Chris. It's the Mad Respect. Welcome me back to YouTube, everybody. My last video I made was at the very beginning of February, where I showed off my pre-order for books from the first week of February. And then, unfortunately, my laptop had a non-correctable issue with the microphone. My microphone completely disappeared out of my settings, and I haven't had a chance to get into the Geek Squad to have them switch me back on. So in the interim, my wife did buy herself a new toy, one of the newest versions of the iPad, which is how I will be recording today's video and probably the next few videos for the foreseeable future until I can get into Geek Squad and repair my microphone on my laptop. So I'm really excited to be back. Got a super packed show tonight. I got a pretty enormous mail call here from multiple sources. We'll get to that after we discuss my favorite reads, covers at all, since I was last on the video. So let's start with new comics. Weird. Hold on. Actually, yeah, new comics. Let's start with new comics. I have my order of things mixed up on the table, but let's start with new comics. This one came out. This is the Black Tape from AWA Upshot. This is written by Dan Panosian with art by Diabor Talish of Hotel. So this is a new horror series, which is basically what if Robert Plant was really a Satanist, in no uncertain terms, I suppose. This issue is all set up. This is Diodato likes to do his, it's the Diodato cover. We'll discuss this cover more in a moment. And Diodato likes to do photorealistic copies of real people. So there's Robert Plant down there, and up here we have The Whale, Brendan Fraser. I think that's who he was trying to ape or homage there. But this first issue was all set up and drops you basically on a cliffhanger. So that was first issue of the Black Tape. Up next, the series I've been anticipating for a while since I watched an interview on Comics with Bueller. This is Dream Master, and this one comes to us from Jonathan Hedrick of Scouts series, The Recount. He did Scouts, The Recount, and he's actually blown up pretty big here. He's got The Dream Master, which just came out here in the first part of 2023. And his older Kickstarter based titles from I guess they were created pre-Recount. They are on FOC, not FOC, but they are on order for people who are pre-ordering their comics from a discount comic book service, My Comic Shop, or Gmart. If you're ordering 2 months in advance on one of those sites, he now has 2 more titles, which we'll discuss later in the video, coming up for May. One from Scout and one from Absolute Comics. I don't know. I'll let you know when we talk about it later. But this is the Dream Master. I ordered issues 1 and 2 from directly from Black Box, and they were nice enough to send me number 3 as well. Well, I have them out of order, of course. Here's 1. Here's issue 2. It's amazing cover art, and the art inside is by the cover artist, which is sometimes rare in this day and age. And this is number 3. And then I had started to pull my issues from Discount Comic Book Service, so I do have an extra copy of number 3, which will be a upcoming channel giveaway. I'll put it aside for that. So that is Dream Master. It's a new creation from Jonathan Hedrick. It's basically what if you had a really bad nightmare, but it could actually kill you, but this guy is in your dreams to guide you out. He's kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio and as Mr. Charles and Inception, but he's more supernatural looking, and he doesn't know who he is. So in each issue, he remembers a little more about who he actually is. And issue 3 ended on a cliffhanger. Issue 4 should have already been out. It may be out, but Discount Comic Book Service hasn't sent me my copy yet. Here is one of the more anticipated books of March was Blue Book #1. This is by James Tynion. No, this is actually in February. This is back in February. This is the March issue will be coming in my next Discount Comic Book Service box. Blue Book #1 by James Tynion IV and Michael Avon Oeming on the artwork, with a backup story drawn by Klaus Janson, Klaus Janson. And this tells the nonfiction story of what happened to Betty and Barney Hill back in the 50s or 60s. And it was quite good. I've heard it called boring online. It's useless, whatever. It's still pretty good. This is a cool one. This is The Last Days of Black Hammer from Jeff Lemire with art by Stefano Simeone. And this is really cool because it was an all-in-one trade paperback, but I think it was on his Substack beforehand, but it basically shows you Black Hammer issue number 234 through the final double-sized issue of Black Hammer number 237. So it shows all of the... Give me a sec here, so I'm going to show you another one. Then the last issue is like triple sized. Of course, I can't find the cover. Here it is. Final cover for the fictional issue 237 of final issue of Black Hammer. So this is Jeff Lemire's pastiche on 60s and 50s, 60s, 70s Marvel and DC all mashed up together into his own comic book universe. So you can basically have Captain America crossing over with the Martian Manhunter, crossing over with Captain Marvel Shazam, crossing over with Scarlet Witch. They're all on the same team, and they're all awesome, and the series has been awesome from start to finish, and I'm really excited to have read that trade. And according to certain like the collected edition channels, that trade is coming out at the end of March. I got mine at the end of February, so some wires across there. Here is Batman One Bad Day Clayface #1, and this is by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing on the art, with art by Zermanica. This is really cool. Basically, I didn't realize it as I read the issue. He gets snubbed on an acting role and kills his friend who won the role and takes over his identity, and they don't like the way he acts, so he takes out the production manager, then takes out the director, and then he takes the director and meets the head of the studio who's going to cancel the whole project, so he kills the director of the studio and throws a big party and invites all his friends he's had there. And then you find out at the end that this has all happened in one single day, one bad day. This is literally one bad day for a Clayface. Interesting concept, interesting ending. I liked it a lot. Here's another one. This is new for March. This is Clear issue #1. This is from Scott Snyder with art by Francis Monapool. This is a sci-fi concept that originally released on as part of Snyder's Comicology contract a couple of years back. I never read any of his Comicology books. I don't read digitally comics unless I am absolutely forced to. So yeah, that's Clear #1. That was I liked the first issue. Good, kind of weird. Like the cliffhanger is straight in the middle of the book, and then there's quite a bit more after that. So it's kind of weird for me. Here's one, Radiant Pink issue #1. This is cover B by Whalen. I did order this from the Discount Comic Book Service. It was out in November, I believe, maybe December. And they never filled my order for this, so I did end up ordering it from I can't remember which. I think this might have been Glass Cabinet Hobbies. That's who I usually buy a lot of my it was an eBay purchase. This and another book we'll discuss here in a moment. But interesting. Fleshed out the character of Radiant Pink, who is a lesbian podcaster who received the the Radiant Pink powers from Radiant Yellow, who she met in, I believe, Radiant Black number 12, which was Radiant Pink's origin story. So, and this continues her life from that, and basically she meets a girl who she's kind of crushing on. They both get sucked into an alternate dimension, and you find out the girl she's crushing on is actually one of these people who are powering their tech off the Radiant technology. There's been a lot of people in Radiant Black and Radiant Red. I think the green guy, Shift, he's one of the guys who powers his suit off of Radiant powers, and then the one who is like a Banshee type character powers her stuff. So see another group of people powering their tech off of the Radiance. So this girl she's crushing on, they get sucked into this alternate dimension at the very end of the first issue, and she doesn't know that she's bad, but we do. So it's interesting conceit there. Here is Speechless issue number 3. So this isn't a new issue, but it's every issue is a new, basically you can call them all new number 1s for Speechless. Speechless number 3, which is by Ivan Tao. This is his own original creation. Ivan Tao actually owns this cat. You see a picture of the live picture of his pet here. So he put his pet as the sidekick to his original character creation. As always, the cover is excellent. And next month, I believe on April 7th, I just heard, will be Speechless number 4, will be Lucio Perillo, not Perillo. I know you guys are Southern and all, but all the Southern YouTubers are calling him Perillo. But he's Perillo. It's like the French pronunciation, Lucio Perillo. So yeah, that is Lucio Perillo will be doing Speechless number 4 with his own character creation, which is a barbarian demon sort of thing. Check out Billy's video that was on earlier tonight if you want to see some information on that. And final new one is Black Tape. This is the cover C homage, album cover homage. This is Black Sabbath, the Black Sabbath self-titled album cover homage. But here it's Black Tape, Master of Hell. So yeah, when I ordered on Discount Comic Book Service my copy of Black Tape, their site had erroneously listed cover B as heavy metal homage when it was cover C. So since I ordered cover B, I ended up with the Mike Diodato Jr. Variant. So anybody wants this copy of Black Tape number 1, jumping on a new series, leave me a comment down below in the comments there, and be subscribed and give me a thumbs up. And in a little while, I'll do a wheel deal and we'll give this bad boy away. So there you go. So let's open up something here. This is from that paragon of comic book goodness, Target. Yes, my wife has a Target Red card that every once in a while we buy cat food or detergent or just basically usually household stuff. But then I looked up and they also do have comics, and all of their comics sell through at the same price as Amazon. So that's who I usually buy a Try Me trade would be Amazon. But this time I went ahead and tried it through Target. So thank you, Target, for these. These are trade paperbacks that I tried to put a special order in through at my library, and my library was unable to fill the request, meaning they will not be able to get it in at the library. First one is Life Zero, the hardcover. This comes from Ablaze. It's written by Stefano and Viette, and the art is by the great Marco Cicchetto of Daredevil fame. He made his name with Daredevil there. And this is a action horror zombie book, Life Zero, and it comes from Ablaze, who I believe this was a foreign book that is basically U.S. translated here for the first time in Life Zero. Ablaze also has done the U.S. edition of Animal Castle, which we'll talk about later in the video. So Life Zero, hardcover edition. go ahead and add that to my collection. Maybe future channel giveaway after I read it. We'll never know. Until you continue to follow the channel. And the second one that my library wouldn't order through was Metal Society. This is by Zach Kaplan, who just finished up Mindset for, was Mindset Vault? I think Mindset was Vault. So this is him with working for Top Cow Image with, I believe the art is Lesko. Written by Zach, nope, the colors are. So it's written by Zach Kaplan, and the art is by Guilherme Bobby, with colors by Marco Lesko. I heard a lot of on the best of the month video on Pop Culture Philosophers. This came up a lot from certain members of the panel. Each month it was coming out, so I thought I'd give it a read. All right, so let's jump into some finales. We did first issues. Let's jump into some finales. Here is the finale of the first arc to Star Wars Hyperspace Stories. This is issue number 4. So I believe each arc is going to be 4 issues. So 1 through 4, 5 through 8, and then 9 through 12. It's a 12-issue series altogether. This is Rey and Chewie on Kashyyyk, and this harkens back to issue 1 of Hyperspace Stories, where there was a young Wookiee, female Wookiee, who lost her doll, and it had some kind of rebel, like secret rebel plans inside the doll. So it's been bouncing around with various characters through the original trilogy, now all the way through here to the sequel trilogy. And this final issue of the arc, our female Wookiee receives her doll back to her as an adult, and the whole story is written in poetry. So that was kind of interesting there. But that ends the first arc of Hyperspace Stories. Here we got more of Blaze. This is a Blaze. This is the Boogeyman, written and drawn by Matul Salvia, and colors by Jet. It was a good series overall. This has a cool part towards the beginning where, since the adults can't see the boogeyman fighting like a child could, you see all this John Wick type kick-ass action, like people's heads getting torn off and stuff, and the cops are just walking through like, I don't see anything here, nothing to report here, but we hear there's a lost child here, so that was kind of interesting. But overall, the final issue was kind of meh. Same goes for this. This is Batman versus Robin, issue number 5, and this is the true conclusion to Lazarus Planet. The week before this, Lazarus Planet Omega came out, which this was to be continued here. Overall, this series was pretty good. I liked it. Mark Waid's definitely one of the best creators at DC, for sure. But yeah, it was good. You got to see Damien get to heal his father and unpossess him from the Devil Neza, and they get to have their true reunion, father and son, at the end. So for people who want to have a true reunion with their father, that could be a good issue for you. These issues came out on the same week, I believe. For me, they were shipped a week apart, but I know they came out on the same week. This is Dead Mall, the conclusion of Dark Horse's series. This is by YouTuber Adam Cesare from Black T-Shirt Project. I'm not sure if he's still doing content, but that's where I first heard of him, and then read his book, Clown in the Cornfield. Art by David Stoll and letters by YouTube's Justin Birch. This is the final 2 issues of Dead Mall. Very cool series. I don't want to spoil who the narrator in the book is, but it just makes it that much cooler once you discover who the narrator of Dead Mall is. So definitely check out this trade. Very good series. I liked it. Here's the end of Arc 1 of The Dead Lucky from Image Massiveverse with Radiant Black and Rogue Sun. And today when I open my DCBS, there'll be a new book, No One, which is the Massiveverse. So Radiant Black, Rogue Sun, Dead Lucky, Inferno Girl, and then Dead Lucky, So yeah, I think there's now 6 minis or ongoings. Radiant Red, Radiant Pink, those are minis. So they've really fleshed out this universe. And I believe when we talk about what's coming out in May, we're going to be discussing the second team-up volume for the Massiveverse. Here's the final issue of Dead Kingdom, which unfortunately is the end of Arc 1 of Dead Kingdom. Nowhere in the solicitation or even in the previous issue did they say that this would be continuing in a second volume, but indeed it is going to continue a second volume. This one is written and drawn by Etienne de Pertigny. So I might be wrong about the Boogeyman. The Jet might be the artist on Boogeyman. This is a Red 5 Comics, which I believe might be an English publication of an old foreign book, because it's definitely a French writer and artist with colors by Jerome Gagnon. So I did really enjoy this series. This is basically Medieval Dead. That was the original title for Evil Dead 3, but this jumps onto that concept, zombies in the Middle Ages. So, good series. Here's the final issue. Speaking of Evil Dead 3, Army of Darkness, Groovy Bruce. Here's the final issue of DC Horror presents Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. Let's grind them in the dusk. Join the company now. That's a great cover by Francisco Francavilla. Joined Francisco's IG for beautiful art every day, and then pictures of his cuddly new kitten family that are just adorable. You gotta join him for either of those reasons. But Groovy Bruce gives you the final issue of this. Basically, they do end up destroying the bunker and murdering the Hitler zombie and the Eva Braun zombie and winning everything. And then at the end, you see Joe Rock recovering in the MASH unit, and another man comes to him with a thick file of weird occurrences that he wants Joe to take a look at. So it'd be really cool if Bruce will be given the green light to do a X-Files type Sergeant Rock type series. Sergeant Rock versus werewolves, Sergeant Rock versus the vampires, Sergeant Rock versus aliens. That'd be great. I'm 100% on board if that is the case. Here's, unfortunately, on dipping down, here's the final issue of 20th Century Men by Dennis Camp with art by S. Morian. It was a good issue. It was well put together. It looked good. It read good. It was unnecessarily double-sized, and unlike issue 2 and 4, which were also double-sized, you got nicked for the extra $1 for the final issue. But it was good. I liked issue 2. I guess I liked issue 2 and 5 the best. So the one just preceding this would have been a fine finale for me. And 2 was just awesome, and maybe 3 as well. I just remember the middle-ish part of the story being really awesome. The one where the U.S. journalist watches the horrors of war, and then he just thinks, he keeps repeating the war cry that the man who died in front of him had taught him just previously. He's just repeating the line over and over. That was my favorite part of the series. But definitely anyone who hasn't read this, jump on the trade. It's an excellent series. Here's the end to Rom V's Carnage, issue number 10. This is the story that began in issue number 1, continued through here, and reaches its natural conclusion with issue number 10. The cliffhanger to the issue continues on in Carnage number 11 and on through this summer's Summer of Symbiotes Extreme Carnage series. I think they're calling it Extreme Carnage. We'll look at it at the end of the video when we look at May stuff. But Alex Pacnado of All Against All, Giga, Turncoat. He is taking over Carnage with issue number 11, I guess full time. All the YouTubers online are saying that this is Rom's final issue. And I think Rom did a pretty damn good run on Carnage. Great art. And to finish out, nope, that's the next part of the video. Let's open up another, let's look at these really fast. There's a couple comics I didn't read since I've got them in the past month. This is Foulness in the Walls, Foulness in the Walls number 1. This is by Colin Bunn with art by Rodrigo Zayas. And then another one of these oversized ones is All Night and Every Day by Ray Fox and Andrea Fritella. This one's going to be cool for me because it's an artist who, both of them, Rodrigo Zayas and Andrea Fritella. I'm familiar with the writers, Ray Fox and Colin Bunn. Definitely familiar with both those writers, but I've never seen the artwork from either of these cats, so I'm looking forward to jumping into these. And I'm not sure why I haven't read them, probably just because of the size. I don't bring my oversized stuff with me when I read it at work, and I'm always busy on my days off for the most part, so I don't get to read, as much as I'd like to. So let's jump to economics and comics. It says this week's FOC pre-order for Economics and Comics, no knife. I'll be right back. Thank you for putting up with that. Economics and Comics, FOC books. I ordered these 3 to 4 weeks ago. One of them is from not this week, but I added it to a book that did come out this week because I needed it, because Discount Comic Service had a ordering snafu of what was coming out back a few months ago, and I never saw it listed in that month's book, so we'll look at that one first. So this is the older one. This is Hulk number 12, written and drawn by Ryan Otley, with Cates is credited there on the top of the cover. I think he did a co something on this, but he really didn't write this. I believe Otley has taken over full time on both. So this is this is issue 12. I believe we'll be looking at issue 13 here later in the video, which will be the penultimate issue of that run of Hulk before Philip Kennedy Johnson takes over Hulk this summer. Looking forward to that. Really good. And this is this week's book. This is Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, issue number 7. This is the KL New acetate version, which I've been getting this version for each issue because they are open order. Unlike the Francisco Martina zombie variants, which the number 1 had a open order zombie variant of Wonder Woman, and then all the rest have been 1 in 25, so I can't afford to get 1 in 25s for my budget, and they don't come up as pre-orderable like open order books on my book. Here's some for the non-comics portion of the video. One of my favorite parts of March so far is I got to go to see Quasi. They are a band local to Portland, Oregon, who have been doing it for 30 years now. 30 years. In I believe in October will be their 30th anniversary. And I saw them at the start of the month at Tractor Tavern, and I was able to snatch one of these gig posters off of outside where it was being rained on, and I had to tear the edges and stuff, but haven't been able to grab a show poster in quite a while. And then while we're on the music bit, I did get my Christmas present from pre-COVID from my sister Grace. Thank you, Grace. She gave me a $25 gift card at Amazon, so I picked up a question mark, an investigation into the mysterious death of Elliott Smith, and this comes from Alison Camus, who is a big-time Elliott Smith fan. Goes back as far, possibly farther than I've been a big Elliott Smith fan since, like, hardcore since 1997, and I've known of Elliott Smith since the summer of 1995, and she was my equivalent of that type of fan down in Los Angeles, and she has spent a good portion of her time since Elliott's untimely death in October of 2003 researching what was going on at the time of his death, and of especially who he was with at the time of his death, and that the case, although everybody who just knows of Elliott Smith just because he's Elliott Smith and is not a fan or into him as much, they have written it off as suicide, and Allison would like us to know that it may have been anything but. So that is that book. And then the second book here is Lanigan. That's him right there, Mark Lanigan. My signed Winding Sheet poster. Mark Lanigan passed away in February of 2022, leaving behind a mountain of great musical material that you can look up and find on YouTube. Mark Lanigan. I'm sure if you just put Mark L, that'll be the first hit. The great unsung voice of the Seattle grunge movement, and always constantly reinventing and pushing himself. Although at the same time, he had no interest in becoming a famous rock star or receiving that kind of notoriety at all. But this is a book of this is a oral history book by Greg Prato, who also did a book about the grunge era called I can't remember what it's called. Just look up Greg Prato grunge. That will bring up his other book, which is also an oral history of the grunge era, which features a lot of quotes from Mark Lanigan and other members of Screaming Trees. But this is just basically about 25 people who knew Mark Lanigan agreed to interviews with Greg, and then they pushed this book out to coincide with the 1-year anniversary of Mark's death, which that's kind of, some people consider that kind of scummy, but I want to read anything I can about either Elliot or Mark Lanigan. They're my two favorite musicians of all time. And favorite living musician currently would be the Quasi. Great. I might put a link to a full video of a concert that would replicate what I have just been through at the start of the month. There's a full concert tour video of that. I might link it at the bottom of this video. So look for that. All right. We're jumping to the next part. I was expecting this to go about an hour. Looks like we're going to be about there. Might maybe go a little more than an hour. These are ongoing titles from last time I was on. Here's Grimm, 6, 7, and 8. I remember reading 6 and 7 as they came, but then when 8 came out, I could not remember what the hell was going on. But I reread them all in one sitting, and it's pretty good. Basically, the cliffhanger that you had at the end of issue 5, they're slowly working towards resolving it while creating new threads and nuances for all the characters. So it's really cool. It's definitely one of the better new Boom books. This is the probably the best ongoing title at DC Comics. This is Batman Superman World's Finest. This one is written by Mark Waid with guest art by Emmanuel Lupacino. And then in issue 13, Dan Mora will be back for another arc of World's Finest. Dan Mora, one of the best artists in the industry, and thankfully for all of us, one of the fastest artists in the industry. While he's doing World's Finest, he's also doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meet Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And before that, he was also doing Once and Future at the same time as he was doing Detective Comics. And soon he'll be doing Shazam coming up. We'll be talking about Shazam at the end of this video. But I don't think he's going to stop doing World's Finest. And if he does have to drop World's Finest, cancel the title. All right. Continuing on with Earth Divers. This is Earth Divers Kill Columbus from Stephen Graham Jones and art by David Gleon Fleece. Stephen Graham Jones, I just picked up from the library his newest book, My Heart is a Chainsaw. I think that's what the new title is. No, the new one's called Don't Fear the Reaper, which is a sequel to My Heart is a Chainsaw. He's a great horror fiction writer in prose, and now he's taking on one of these IDW original titles. And it, according to what we're going to talk about, May Comics at the end of the video, this is going to be one of the few ongoing IDW original titles. So, I've been enjoying this title, so I'm pretty happy about that. Here is the middle part to the 3-part series for Inferno Girl Red. This is written by Durso and Groom, with art by Durso, and Then Monty and Carrie do the lettering and coloring. And they do a lot of Massive-verse lettering and coloring on throughout the line of the Massive-verse books. I like the first issue, and this issue, I heard someone put it on their skip its list because at the start of the issue, two of the characters stop and have a milkshake, and that's all. They stopped reading the book because they were having a milkshake, and they didn't actually read the issue to find out that it was actually quite action-packed and exciting. So, read your comics, folks. Here's the second issue to Trojan. Issue 1 was a slow burn, introducing the characters, and this one furthers along the plot, and then you find out what's really going on with our main character here right towards the end. And so the first issue, it just showed her. Second issue, the cliffhanger was showing the wings, and they show the wings on the cover. And the third issue relates to the cliffhanger at the end of this issue. Very interesting cover art by Jeff DeCall. Here is House of Slaughter. This is issue 12. Issue 12, this will be second part of the new Jace Bouchard arc. And you fully meet his old House of Boucher team as they rescue one of Jace's children. And here is the cover of March. I know there's still a lot of March comics coming out, but I don't think anything's going to beat this bad boy right here. This is by Kendra Kunka Lim, who also graces us with gorgeous covers on Carnage every month. This is awesome. This is Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, issue number 6. Sadly, although the front cover does list Frank Avila as doing the backing story, he has been doing the backing stories for the first, the first 5 issues, Eric, but Will Robeson, who I believe Will Robeson was the artist on John Lee's, no, it wasn't, never mind, just skip that. Anyway, Will Robeson finishes the first backup story arc for the Joker, which is basically a send-up on the old 70s Joker series, which has been written by Rosenberg, but art has been by Francisco Francavilla for the first arc up until this 6th part. But then I saw on Francavilla's Instagram just a little while ago that he is doing the art coming up on issue number 8 for the backup story, so he's still going to continue on the title. This is my favorite, definitely my favorite issue of the Joker thus far. Funny as hell. Basically, it's the Joker who's in LA, realizes he has to go back to Gotham to take out the imposter, and he causes chaos in the city of LA on his way out, and is having trouble making it to the airport because of the chaos he caused, and his henchmen are all getting taken out, and then at the end he has to do an LA sidewalk superhero show with fake cosplayer Batman, where they are pretending to beat each other up for tips. I guess that happens a lot down in LA these days, the superhero cosplay. And at the end, after they've made the money, Joker just puts it right through the top of the guy's head with the gun. And then he's like, all right, I'm leaving town. But that was the funniest. Definitely the humor in that book, the dark humor in that book was definitely the best issue of Joker so far. Here's Amazing Spider-Man, issue 21. This is it. The story arc we've been waiting for. But nothing happens in the first part. You kind of get to see how it began, this whole thing. Basically, it picks up right where the last pages of the final Beyond issue left off, and keeps on running from there, and then it's jumping back and forth to current time and the past, so it's a good starting, I suppose. And here are these are the best High Republic, Star Wars, Marvel books that I've read since, I'd say the very best Star Wars High Republic book I ever read was either the first or second issue of the Eye of the Nile miniseries, which discussed the villain behind the Nile, who were the enemies behind the Jedi back in the High Republic. So, and since then, these are definitely my 2 favorite issues. This one, If you liked Rogue One, there's a nice callback to Rogue One and the characters on Jeddah in this issue. That's really awesome. And this one comes to a total head where our main character, he's like, you have a choice here. You can either just resolve this peacefully, or I'm gonna fucking beat all your asses. And they decide instead to try to double cross him and blow up his sister. So he's like, all right, we're gonna do it that way. And so I guess the next issue is solicited as the greatest lightsaber fight you have ever seen on page. So I hope it lives up to that. Here are two miniseries that are considered some of the best going on right now. Where Monsters Lie, issue number 2 from Kyle Starks with art by Peter Kozłowski. First issue was knuckin' futz, crazy. This one, you think since the police are there and it's going to come to a head and kind of be close to the end of things, it goes in a direction you wouldn't expect, and for the better. Here's issue 2 of Breath of Shadows from Rich Doak and art by Sinks Alec Cormac with letters by YouTube's Justin Birch. Definitely, this is a slower burn type of horror. It's almost more of a drama title at this point. But very good. I'm really quite enjoying this. Here is another book I got from these I got from Jetpack Comics because here's Dead Seas number 3. This is cover C, and I believe it'll tell me who it's by on the back. Cover C by Tula Lute. This is another book that Discount Comic Book Service neglected to show up when I did my monthly order that month. So and I missed it on both Things from the World and from Economics and Comics. So I ended up having to buy it from eBay on the secondary market. This came courtesy of Jetpack Comics. Thank you very much, Jetpack. No, this was not Jetpack Comics. This was damn the place. I said it earlier in the video. Glass Cabinet Hobbies. Most likely this came from Glass Cabinet Hobbies. Thank you again, Glass Cabinet Hobbies. If you miss a book, and particularly if you miss an indie book, let's go right to Glass Cabinet Hobbies or search for the indie book you're looking for and make sure you're ordering from them because they do combine shipping, and yeah, that's all cool. All right, here we go. Final ongoing is the penultimate issue to 8 Billion Genies. This is by Charles Soule with art by Ryan Brown. A nice fine comeuppance to the Idea Man character. You find out that he's pretty dirty and that he's just doing back boardroom deals with the lawyer planet, and he doesn't care about anybody he's protecting or keeping safe. So he definitely gets what's coming to him in a very amusing final page for him. It was great. All right, we're gonna jump to this part of the video before we do our next unboxing. This is the Something That Is Killing the Children Deluxe Edition hardcover, Volume 1. Definitely excellent. I don't know. I got something on there that needs to come off. Give me a sec. Anyway, awesome. All right, why am I showing you this? Because we're going to our next part of our unboxing, second to last one of our unboxing. We got an eBay purchase. This is from the Jetpack Comics on eBay. And this purchase is thanks to Bruce and Stephanie Comics. I watched a video of theirs just before payday, and they reminded me of a cover play that I've been neglecting to add to my collection. So I hope I didn't destroy this. Fuck, I think I did. God damn it. Fuck. Oh well, it is what it is. So annoying. And everything might not be in here. It better be. I'm gonna be pretty mad. Yeah, it's all here. Anyway, so why did I show you? Why did it have to be the front? Did I do it too? God damn it. Oh well, Why did I show it to you? Maybe I can do it like this and have it upside down, I guess, maybe. But anyway, I purchased one of these for $10. Because when I ordered this from Discount Comic Book Service in the deluxe format, the deluxe edition, they were allocated. I don't know if everyone knows what allocation means out there in YouTube land, but allocation means they over-ordered this deluxe version of the hardcover, so I was unable to get the slipcover for it. And unfortunately, thanks to their packaging, I think I did this myself. I just you can't really see it on camera unless you get up real close, but I just chopped the top of it. Because I can just hold it like this whenever I show it off. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It was only 10, so I had to buy this. I believe Discount Comic Service gave it to me for like 30 and 25% off because they were behind on shipping, so I got it really cheap. So I ended up getting this. It would have cost me $60 had they just filled my original order on Discount Comic Book Service. So I ended up like 40 all in. Yeah, 40 all in to get it deluxe. So that's cool. I'm happy about that. And then another cover lever pick. Thank you, Bruce and Stephanie, for showing this off in one of the recent videos. I forgot. I've never gotten this, and mainly because it's a ratio, and I don't do a lot of ratio action. But this one, I just had to have, just for my PC. Bruce has his slab, so he can put it up on the wall, and that's awesome for him. But I never actually had this in hand before. Let's get it out of the bag so I can fully show it off. This is Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, issue number 2, the Francesco Mattina 1 in 25. See, I've never noticed this action going on up here until I had it in hand. But, and whatever that's dripping off down his teeth, and it's just, that's a sick-ass cover. Which reminds me of a cover coming out in, I believe, FOC, that just went off FOC, was the Jock cover for Batman and Joker Deadly Duo. There's a Jock, like, teeth cover of Joker that's coming up. It might be coming out in May, or else it's FOC this week or something. But it's a cool cover too. But this cover, I'm glad I added that to my collection. That's an awesome cover. Thank you, Jetpack Comics. But no, thank you for the way you packaged it and how I had to slice into it. And probably I could have avoided that had you packaged it differently. Let's say differently. But it is on me. I'm the one who sawed into it like that. Anyway, all right. Last book package. Last set of books we'll discuss here. This is this week's pre-order from the Discount Comic Book Service. These are books from the first and second week of March. Because I have a bone to pick with Discount Comic Book Service. There are videos on YouTube called The Most Anticipated Comic Books. My wife laughs about their little jingle. Cole's Comics Claim. The most anticipated comic books. My most anticipated comic books are as follows. Radiant Pink #1, Waylon. Oh, well, I'm not really anticipating anymore since I had to buy it from the secondary market. I'm looking forward to the final issue of Year Zero, which came out, I believe, at the end of January, but I don't have it yet. I'm looking forward to Fuck This Place #6, both the A and B cover. And that came out a couple weeks, 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago now. They haven't filled my order. Yeah, Discount Comic Book Service has been... I mean, I was looking at their site to see. I'd say they've been about 99.9% good at filling the orders I make. But then those few times that they don't fill it, sometimes I'll send a reminder email and they'll be like, it's coming, and then it will eventually come. But anywho, it's just frustrating. I'd like to have especially Fuck This Place. I'm looking forward to seeing how Fuck This Place continues. All right. Here's the final issue of Agent of World from Scout Comics and Dennis Camp. With art by Fatilia Bertukin. Enjoying this series. See how it ends. Gunslinger, number 18, from Todd McFarlane and Brett Booth. This is cover B by, I believe, Keane. Yep, cover B from Keane. Here is Star Wars The High Republic Adventures, issue number 3. This is coming to you from Daniel Jose Olzer and Tony Bruno. And the second. Here is No One, issue number 1. This is written by, what is Higgins? You think I'd know Higgins' name since he's the black market narrative guy. Kyle Higgins. Kyle Higgins and Brian Buccellato with art by Jorge Borges. This is No One, issue number 1. New from the Massive Verse. This is a 10-issue series. And I believe there is some kind of podcast thing with actors attached, one of which is Patton Oswalt. So if you look it up, you can probably find the podcast version too. I'm not that into the Massiveverse. Here's another one. Here's House of Slaughter, issue number 13. This is cover B from Werther Dell'Edera. Another thing, Discount Comic Book Service, I didn't get my A and C cover for House of Slaughter. Not my first copy, not my second copy, or my third copy. So that's 6 more books I'm anticipating from the Discount Comic Book Service. Is my cardstock variant for issue 13 and my cover C. Or my cover A. Yeah, my cover A is by Mahanini. I don't have either of those. Here's the final issue of Berserker. The final issue of Berserker. This is cover D foil by Eastman. No, Matt Kent. Matt Kent is the writer of Berserker with Keanu Reeves. Art and signed by Ron Garney. This is the final issue of Berserker. And now they're moving on to the anime series and the movie, I guess. Here's Art Brute, issue number 4, which is this is cover C by Martin Morazzo, and it's a I guess there's a famous painting. It's a famous painting homage cover. All Against All, issue number 4, the penultimate issue. From Alex Packnadell with art by Casper Wingard. Definitely one of the better series going on right now. I wasn't going to collect it originally, but I did anyway. Here is Star Wars High Republic, The Blade, issue number 2, and the second printing. See if I can find out who the cover's by just by looking at it. So it says Enter General Weiss. So it's General Weiss's first cover for General Weiss, I would assume. It's the second printing for that book. Here is Noctera Returns. Noctera returns with issue number 12 by Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel, with cover B by Jay Lee, which is another one of those Something is Killing the Children, an homage to his cover to Something is Killing the Children number 1. But now it's for Noctera. He did it for House of Slaughter. Now he's doing it for Noctera. Hulk number 13. This is basically the homage of March, I would assume. I don't think anyone's going to beat this homage. This is Steve McNiven channeling Todd McFarlane from Hulk number 340. Same background color cover. Different color Hulk. It'd be cool if someone said this would be cool if this was the Titan Hulk in the claws, and I agree. But yeah, that's a classic homage variant. That's awesome. I love that cover. That's the reason I why I decided to get 12 from Economics and Comics and finish out the run, specifically because of this cover. Trojan. We were just speaking about Trojan. Trojan number 3. This is the spoiler at the end of issue number 2 that she is not only a fairy, she is a Medusa Kraken type of thingy. So looking forward to seeing how that continues on. And here's the black tape. I did get the right variant. I did get the right variant for issue 2. This is cover C, heavy metal homage. This is a homage of AC/DC's Back in Black. This is black tape. Jack is back. So, yep. homage to AC/DC's Back in Black. R.I.P. my niece Melissa. She passed on earlier this year, and AC/DC was her favorite band. So this is for you, and a moment of silence for Melissa, everybody. And the final book coming from week 2 from Discount Comic Service this is actually a week 1 book, as was Black Tape. Week 1 book coming to me in week 2, which is technically, this is week 3. As we're sitting on it today, it's New Comic Book Day of week 3. This is Batman number 133. This is the Stanley Art Germ Lau variant of Joker. Very, very cool. Yeah. So that is our books. Our big unboxing. What was the biggest fail of this unboxing? Was destroying my slipcover here, but it was only $10, so I can live with it. It's still gonna look cool. I guess I can display it from the back, you know, if I show it on camera ever again. All right, so that's that. And that's the final part of this video. I'm gonna go and tell you guys all about what's coming out in May that I have ordered. Coming out. These are books I've ordered for May that I'm looking forward to. All right, I'm looking forward to the return of Animal Castle from Animal Castle. Who does the Animal Castle? Ablaze. Animal Castle is returning from Ablaze Volume 2. Same creative team. Multiple covers. I'm getting one of each cover. That's open order. Avengers relaunches with Jed MacKay taking over the book, and that continues on from Jed MacKay's Timeless #1 special that came out at the end of 2022. It continues the story that I talk about that in a previous video. Yeah, it continues that story in the new Avengers run. But I am still enjoying Jason Aaron's run. A lot of people hate Jason Aaron's run. I know I'm reading it all for free and getting it from the library, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that I have really been enjoying, and especially the anniversary issue of Avengers that came on Aaron's run. That was like 72 pages of all new material, which you rarely get in an anniversary issue. So I gotta commend him for that. Let's see what's coming on. We got new DC books coming out in May. We got Batman the Brave and the Bold, which is a new Tom King with Tom King. He did the Riddler book with Tom King. The guy who did the Riddler book with Tom King. Can't remember his name. It's Tom King and him doing a new Joker 4-part story to kick that off with a Batman black and white story written and drawn by Dan Mora. And there's a new Superman story beginning in there. So it's basically, it's replacing Batman Urban Legends, but with better creatives. That is Batman the Brave and the Bold. Breath of Shadows concludes in May. And then, yeah, there's 2 books coming out from Jonathan Hedrick in May. The first one is Capable, and that's coming from, I gotta look it up. I don't like this, man. Give me a sec here. Thank you for putting up with me in this video. Thank you all for coming back, if you're back to the channel, and it's been a long time. Capable is coming to us from Advent Comics. And since I have it up on my screen, I'll take a look at it. I guess I gotta hold it in this hand. Capable #1. This is one of Hedrick's Kickstarter titles that he did back before he got I can't remember anything for more than 5 minutes. The Recount. He became known and famous for the Recount, and this is what he was. This is books. I guess this one's kind of important to him. This one's called Capable, and Advent Comics will be bringing that to you. So unless you were on the Kickstarter originally, look forward to that coming out in May. All right, let's go back through it. A lot of books. Okay, so Carnage Reigns is the new crossover series. It takes place between Miles Morales, Carnage, and this one shot, at least in the first month. And they show Iron Man in the solicitation, so maybe it will cross into Iron Man at some point too. But that Carnage is now being taken over by Alex Backnadel. So Carnage reigns. That starts in May. Dark Spaces returns. The Scott Snyder book. First series was Dark Spaces Wildfire by Scott Snyder. Series 2 will be called Dark Spaces Good Deeds. And new creative team, new writers, new writer, artist. So it's Scott Snyder presents Dark Spaces, and now it's Good Deeds. Dead Seas finishes up in May. Earth Divers is now an ongoing series. Number 7 comes out in May. Green Lantern gets a new ongoing series from Jeremy Adams and Zermanico, with a backup story by Philip Kennedy Johnson. House of Slaughter finishes its third arc with Jace Boucher in May. Hulk gets an annual to its current run, which is now bending more towards the horror side of things. And I've heard the Philip Kennedy Johnson run is going to lean more back into the horror side of things, the more Incredible Hulk TV show / a horror book type of vibe. The Immortal X-Men and X-Men Red return in May with Perspective issue 11s. There are a few Tom King April Fool's covers on Batman, Joker, and what's the other Tom King title? Danger Street. All 3 of them have a Tom King April Fool's variant, which has not been shown on FOC or at all yet. So I'll mention those. Nightclub by Mark Millar. His $1.99 series concludes in May, but I guess it must be a double-sized issue or triple-sized issue because they're charging $3.99 for the final issue. Nightfall double feature has its 4th issue come out in May, returning. Picture of Everything Else from Dan Waters at Vault. Supposedly issue number 5 is coming out in May, although we don't have an issue 4 and it's been years. I don't think it's really coming out. Queen of Swords one shot, a barbaric story, continuing in the barbaric verse at Vault. Quicksand is the other Jonathan Hedrick title that is coming, and this one's coming out of Scout, and this was another Kickstarter book. This is a horror-veined book, and so I'm definitely going to check that out. That will replace Agent of World as my Scout purchase. I try to be on a Scout book most months out of a year if I can, because I like to support Scout. Red Room comes back with a new miniseries called Crypto Killers, still by Ed Pescor and at Fantagraphics. Sandman Universe, Nightmare Country, The Glass House. Nope, that's just that came out. That's coming out, yeah. Shazam number 1 by Dan Mora and Mark Waid kicks off in May. Let's see. I think that might be it. No, Supermassive one shot, volume 2 one shot. It's basically the team up book for the Massiveverse characters. This is the second year of doing that. I think Supermassive book 1 came out at the very beginning of 2022, and this is 2023's volume. And what I read somewhere in one of the latest pages is they're not going to reprint the Supermassive one shots. So that's that. Vigil is coming, a new book from Rom V, coming from DC. And that's all the newer stuff I'm looking forward to coming out in May. Thank you for joining me tonight for my return to the YouTubes. I'm excited to be back. That's why I go extra long and show off everything that I am interested in. Show off this beauty again. Now it's whole finally. I wasn't able to just buy it this way. Wasn't able to just buy it this way when it first came out, but now I have it. So, all right, everybody. You take care out there in the community. I will be back probably next week. I'm gonna get another week of discount comic book service books. Pretty big week this week, but a few things didn't get pulled for me as usual. And so hopefully the last box of the month will be super huge because they'll actually feel like fuck this place and year zero. Hopefully they finally fill those books for me and I can finish and begin to read them again. I'm looking forward to it. All right, everybody. Thanks for being with me tonight. And like I said, I have that extra copy of Black Tape #1 with the Mike Diodato Jr. variant that I'll give away via the comments. So leave me a comment down below with anything you want, and subscribe to the channel and leave me a like. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.